What is up, everyone? Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Fowl Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Porter, with my co-host, Zane Martz, on the other end of the line from all the way back in Dallas, Texas. You having a good day, Zane?
So good so far. Say it backwards.
As good as it can be, right? You just look one way and it
Yeah,
shifts.
it's good. That's about how it be.
Yep. Well, guys, let's hop into it. We wanted to kind of briefly go over some of the gear we use personally throughout the season, and then also wanted to go over gear that we use as a business and kind of, for anybody who's wanting to know what crane decoys we use, what duck decoys, what blinds, guns, shells, a little bit of everything. We're gonna give you honest feedback. We use one thing in the outfitting industry is it's really hard to be exclusive to one brand when it comes to things because there's so many different things you have to do and use. So first, we're going to kind of start off real quick by talking about what we kind of use as our own personal gear and things of that sort. Zane, if you want to kind of go first and, start off with, say, what's your typical go-to day. And now when we say this, we're talking, it's about 28, 30 degrees, first 7 a.m. in the morning, and it's going to warm up to about 45, 50. That's kind of, an average day here in Texas. So what are you wearing when you hit the field on an average day?
So me and Sam are both very heavy Sitka users, just because I think we both feel like they make the best waterfowl specific stuff. I'm not gonna say they make the best everything gear, but they're the kind of the go-to in waterfowl for a while until you see First Light and now Kuyu's about to have some stuff come out and kind of some of the other brands. We rock a lot of Sitka, but I mean, surprisingly, me and you both don't wear a whole lot of camo most of the time. A lot of times we're wearing like a DTO hoodie and stuff like that, and especially if it's only like 30 to 50, customers in a blind are usually pretty cold because they're not doing a lot. But me and you are running around doing all sorts of stuff, so it's like we sweat. So on a day like that, I'm a little bit smaller guy, so I'll wear like maybe a t-shirt or a lightweight kind of thermal. I do want to buy the new Sitka wool stuff, which is nice. They came out with. They have the kind of the lightweight, medium weight, heavyweight. I haven't got it in yet. It looks awesome, so I'll probably order that next week or so. But kind of a lightweight thermal underneath it, and I usually wear lightweight leggings just so it kind of moisture wicks and pulls the sweat off me if I do sweat. And then anything from just a beat up pair of Sam's Club brown pants to the grinder pants from Sitka, which are stretchy, to if it's really cold, we're off the Dakotas. But it's usually my go-to kind of clothing setup, and it's different. It's hard to tell people what to wear when you're in a blind because we do so much work.
Yeah.
Like you're obviously going to layer a little bit more than we do, and then almost exclusively wear either a Jetstream or a Dakota vest on top of a Sitka Dakota vest on top of the hoodie. Kind of adds a little bit of maybe a breakup, and then it's just the windproofness is nice. But other than that, man, that's the go-to wear fit for probably me. I'm going to say you, but you kind of wear a little bit different. And then most of the guides and stuff out there, that's like the go-to year round almost for us, unless it gets really hot or really cold.
Yeah. They call their like Sitka's waterfowl collection. You have the grinder hoodie, the grinder pants, which I wear both that and the Fanatic hoodie almost daily.
Which the Fanatic hoodie, me and Sam could talk Sitka all day long, which may be another fun one to do for any Sitka freaks. But the Fanatic hoodie and the grinder hoodie are the identical hoodie with just some different features between the two. So it's not like
Fanatic gives you the ability to do a solid color, green, black, gray, I think they have now. And then the grinder hoodie, it's only in waterfowl. Or they might have added subalpine to it, I don't know. But the one thing that I do like about that, the Fanatic hoodie is it's got like a front, like an actual, like, if you're wearing like a standard hoodie, it's got a like hand pocket out in the front. So I like that. But
and it's got the flip over mittens. Like the sleeves are made long so you can flip them over your hands. And that's really literally the only difference between the Fanatic and the grinder hoodie.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you're in between the two, I think the Fanatic's a little bit more expensive, but if you're trying to just buy one, the Fanatic's the same hoodie with more features. So if you're okay with rocking like a black, or I think they might have a solid brown or a gray, just go
I will
in my
say,
opinion.
coming from a big guy, if you're a bigger guy, the grinder hoodie does have a little, it's not as long. I've got short legs and a long torso. I'm 6'2", but my legs are shorter. I got a long torso, and I got a gut. But the grinder hoodie kind of hits me, like it stops a little higher, if that makes sense. And the Fanatic hoodie goes a little lower. So I do like that aspect. But yeah, average day, I'm rocking the Fanatic hoodie, the grinder hoodie. And then if it's cold, I'm rocking a DTO hoodie, like a Carhartt hoodie over that. And then I'll have my Dakota vest. That's my go-to. The Dakota is just a wind blocker for the most part. And then I'm either rocking the brown Dakota pants or the black Dakota, or I'm sorry, not Dakota, the grinder pants. Dakota is insulated. I don't like insulation because, like Zane said, we're running, getting the dog, everything fixed up. There's a lot of moving parts that go into that. So I don't want to be hot. So that's what
and you're a fluffier guy. You carry your own insulation. I don't carry my own insulation, so I have to wear it.
Yeah, Zane usually layers up a little bit more than I do. But me and the Kurd, we kind of do a little less insulation. But Zane, tell us what you ran last year as far as your primary firearm. I know you hit the lotto at the DU banquet, so you got some pretty cool items there. But
Yeah.
what's your go-to gun and shells?
I am not a gun brand loyalist, contrary to somebody else on this podcast. So I love exploring everything. So like I run my favorite gun that I have presently. Actually, it's not true. My go-to gun usually is an SX3, a Winchester SX3 that I've had since I was probably 18 or 19. It was the first like big gun purchase I made. I was like, wow, $1,100 for a gun, that's ridiculous. And actually, I think I shopped around on gun.deals. If y'all don't know what that is, do that. Find the SQ, whatever gun you want, put it in there. They'll show you the cheapest prices and where to buy them and whatnot. I think I shopped around and ended up getting for like $850 or $900 as a 19-year-old probably, and I love that gun. It cycles every time. I do not take care of it on a brag. It's more of just it works. I think with it being a gas gun, it kind of maybe has something I don't know. Everybody has a preference. And then last year I won the Ducks Unlimited Gun of the Year, which was a 20 gauge Benelli Super Black Eagle with all the cool gold engravings and stuff on it. And if I have a gun, I'm gonna use it. So yeah, everybody's in the blind like, why are you using that? And I was like, I love it. So I ran that a lot. If I was running that one, it was always on a crane only feed because with the 20 gauge, I only wanted to run lead out of it just so it hit a little bit harder. And you can use lead on crane, but if we're in a place where we're gonna have some ducks or geese, I didn't want to be the person that caused the customers not be able to shoot them. So if we were on a field where we don't see crane, I'd run that sometimes, and then I ran it a lot with our upland and dove stuff just because it's lighter, and I feel like everybody's kind of moving to the sub gauge with the increase in ammo. Then I ran a Rete Masai Mara that I bought last year. That, I mean, say what you want about Rete, they definitely do not feel as quality as other guns in your hand. Like there's something about that plastic feel. But Sam can tell you, I used it like a bludgeoning hammer last year and tried to beat it up. And we run in the sand, which is probably the worst thing for a gun compared to water and mud, because you can sit there in the water and shake it out. But you're in the sand, you try to oil it up, you just made a big old clay pod in your gun. And it ran every time. So if you're going to spend $1,100 on a gun, I wouldn't say buy the Masai Mara, but you're not making a wrong decision, in my opinion. Like if that's kind of your budget.
If y'all are confused as to why we're talking, like why Zane's saying that, Masai Mara is a company by the name of Rete, makes it, or Rete, however you want to say it. Benelli lost their patent on the M2 model, or it didn't lose it. It expired.
I think
one of their guns.
Yeah,
their inertia system, I think, is what it is. So lots of different companies out there. I'm going to call it as it is. Knocked off Benelli. You see my sign right here?
Yeah, and I have
I'm a Benelli guy.
Sam's a Benelli. Yeah, he's a Benelli loyalist. He actually just bought 2 brand new inbox SBE ones, right?
I bought one brand new SBE one. I just got an H&K SBE one. This one is a SBE one, a Benelli one, made the first generation Benelli after the H&K. It's a 24-inch barrel, which I thought was badass. Never been shot. Still original casing, like everything's all there. And then I bought a Benelli M1 Super 90, which is also dope. That one's a 26-inch barrel with like the old Mossio Bottomlands camo. So that's fun. We as a company this year, minus Zane for the most part, everybody's gonna run Benelli's.
I'm technically not a DTO employee. I for those that hunt with us, you know that I'm voluntold a lot, but I don't actually work for DTO. I actually go out there and more help just to be around Sam and have fun. And I like
Zane
seeing
is
him succeed. So I dedicate a lot of time, which my wife despises. But my logic is I'm gonna hunt anyway. So, I'd rather go out there and help you out and hunt out there and make maybe some tip money on the side and instead of spending the money to go do it elsewhere. So my
exactly.
wife doesn't agree with that, but I'm like
Zane is what we call the equalizer of the group, the tension that gets brought up in between all the guides and scouts and me and everything. Zane comes in and relieves that stress, and we just put all of our anger on him. So
yeah.
we just
I show up because I'm a weekend warrior while everybody else is full time. So I show up on like Friday night and I get there and it's like, hey, fuck you. Where have you been all week? I'm like, Sam doesn't even pay me. You're lucky I showed up this weekend. So I do run Benelli, and I actually almost bought just the other day because I was offered a deal for club card members for 10% off, and I had a 28 gauge SBE3 and then a non super nice 20 gauge SBE3 in my cart that wasn't one that I wouldn't mind taking out the mud and beating up because I just love how their sub gauges are, and I didn't end up pulling the trigger, but I will. I like experimenting. Like Sam has something he likes and he wants to stick with it. I'm the guy that's like sending Sam stuff like, hey, have you seen this? Like you should try it out. And then inevitably he caves and he tries. He's like, hey, I'm going back to this one, and he goes back to the old stuff. Whereas I'm like, oh, this is cool, it has its benefits. But like last year alone, I ran a Belgian 12 gauge A5, which I love. That it was given to me by my grandpa forever ago. It's his that was passed down. One of my favorite guns of all time because the barrel moves. I ran a Japanese 20 gauge A5. The first year they moved to Japan. I ran the Rite Masai Mara on a 12 gauge. I ran the Rite Antalya SS, which is like their really nice walnut. It's basically a Masai Mara, but it's a little bit different on the system. And it ran well. The walnut smells a little wonky to me. It kind of has that weird lacquer smell, but whatever. Ran a 20 gauge SBE3 or Benelli SBE3. Ran my SX3, and then I ran a Stoger M3500, which out of all those guns, that is a gun I will say stay away from. I just have had nothing but issues with it. It's just little finicky stuff. So that has turned into a snow goose gun, and it'll probably get some work done to it. It'll leave a magazine on it full time, and I'll never touch it other than for snow goose.
I think it's funny that you had not like you didn't use that gun that much, but you had all the troubles with it. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna make it a snow goose gun. We to fucking Missouri, dude, and it like doesn't work the first go around. I was like, well, what the fuck did you expect?
And I know what the problem that I put an extended bolt in it for snow goose season, but they make my wife hates it when I say they make fucked off bolt systems for it. So like it's almost the same exact bolt that goes in an M2, I believe, a Benelli M2. So like when you buy a bolt, that's the one you buy, but then you're supposed to sand down the end like a micrometer, like not even a millimeter, just sand down the end. And I was like, I'll just not leave it all the way in. So then when it cycles, like it's not all the way in, so it'll do the same thing. And like you'd shoot once and it'd brick, like the action wouldn't go. And that's a whole other story. But that's the gun that I've had nothing but issues with, and it's going to be a snow goose gun. That way I'm just leaving the plug out of it. I think I threw the plug away on purpose, and I was like, I'm never using this for anything else that matters again. So
yeah. Well, that Zane does that because we both bought the Rite Masai Maras last year. I will give them props. Zane beat the shit out of his. I don't think he cleaned it one time. And as much as shit as I talked about it, that gun ran without a problem all season long.
yeah, and
I will give props where props is due.
It feels cheap. It's relatively heavy, so it does eat a lot of kick for an inertia gun, which is nice because it does weigh considerably more than like a Super Black Eagle, which is kind of what they tried to clone. It almost weighs. It probably weighs more than like a Beretta, like an actual. Like it's heavy. It's good. It's the one thing they did that not a lot of other companies do that I know of is they bore out their barrels. They don't wrap their barrels. So it's one piece of metal that they punch through, which is why it's so heavy. and when they were talking to us, they were very proud of that, and they're supposed to be the most accurate guns. But I don't know how you judge that on a shotgun, because every choke's going to shoot different, and every ammo is going to handle different choke different, and every gun's going to like different ammo different. You got to experiment.
Yeah, I
And then
wasn't too big of a fan of that one, like just how it felt to me personally. So I gave it to Randy. Randy,
yeah, it was.
I'm
He
tired of
loves it.
Randy shooting his grandpappy's. I don't even know what gun that like.
Falling apart, like
Yeah,
it was like it's like a fake wingmaster, probably. Like
I don't
me
even.
and my dad were on the gun topic. Me and my dad were talking the other day because he loved pump action shotguns, and I despise pump action shotguns. Like they have their purpose, I just don't like them. And he was like, "Yeah, I just will. If I ever buy another gun, it'll probably be another 870." And I was like, "Well, don't do that, because like the 870 they sell now is not the 870 they sold in the 90s when you bought it. Like the ones in the 90s feel good, like the action smooth. They just feel like an expensive gun." And he has a 2 3/4 only Wingmaster, and it's gorgeous. It's like specifically for upland hunting, and then he has like a all black synthetic one, and they feel like an expensive pump action shotgun, which you do not find anymore. Even the Benelli, in my opinion, Novas and Supernovas just feel cheap.
They look
So
wonky
it's
as hell too. I will say that the Benelli's.
yeah, the Supernovas and Novas. Yeah, it's like the ribs on the pump on the slide itself are just like weird.
Yeah,
But
no, my dad
that's
had one of the old original Wingmaster 870s. So yeah, it's not even the whatever you were saying before, the Express or whatever. It's just the
yeah.
Wingmaster 870, and it's solid bore, like full choke all the time. He's got a long barrel, and it's like 28-inch barrel, but his dad bought
That's
it for
how my
him.
that's how my 8.5 is. 30-inch full choke all the time, baby. Like you better be, and it only shoots 3 3/4. So like you've seen me use it for crane before. Like I could shoot shit 100 yards away and hold it. Usually I'm running lead.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah. My dad said his dad bought him that when he was young for like $75. I mean, dude, the time of guns being that cheap and working that well, as long as they did, I'd kill to see.
Even high points aren't $75 right now.
Ugh. We need to get back on topic. But anyway,
But okay, so
I
Sam, just tell them what you run. I know you run Benelli's, but
I my first gun I ever got, like that I was mine was SBE2, but now it's Super Black Eagle 2. My dad had the SBE1. So I kind of grew up shooting his, but the first gun I ever got was the SBE2. I am a diehard. In my opinion, that's the best gun Benelli's ever made. They stopped making that because obviously they're making the SBE3. There's a lot of mixed emotions about those. I have one. I shimmed it right. It shoots great. I don't have any problems with it. I love it. I think I've got 4 SBE3s sitting right there. But I like it's up to preference. I've never had an issue with an inertia gun. The first one I got was in 2008. Had to use it as a boat paddle. I fell in out of kayaks, canoes. It's gone to the bottom of rivers, picked them up, shot ducks the same day. I like it a lot. But it's just kind of whatever you want. About to buy hopefully an H&K M1 Super 90 and a 20 gauge. That'll be pretty sweet. And one that you cannot find anymore, I think I might have a hookup on, is Beretta Eureka 391 or Beretta 391 Eureka, the old Woodstock gun that was the predecessor to the A400, which is probably one of the smoothest upland shooting guns there is. And I really want one of those really bad. But that's my go-to every day, is pretty much the SBE2 or the 3. And this year I'll be shooting one of the SBE1s. Just kind of depends. But that's my go-to. Gonna call it how I see it. I ran Venari ammo last year. The guy's a great guy. It's a small batch.
QC.
Yeah, dude.
It just wasn't.
Like nothing against the guy, but man, those I invested a lot of money, like a couple $1,000 in cases of shells, and I got, lack of a better word, shit in return. Like I really didn't get anything. We ran them out of
Like
multiple different guns. Hold on, real quick. Yeah, we ran like multiple different Benelli, Winchester, Beretta, Browning. The only thing it would work on was an over and under, or not an auto loader. Even with pumps it'd get hung up on. But basically, I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure he hand does them, which I wouldn't have bought him if I'd known that. I thought it was a small shot, but anyways, his crimps are wrong. They're not perfectly circular. They're like a hexagon, so they don't cycle. Like when your inertia at least on me for Benelli, when the inertia goes in, it wouldn't seat all the way in there. So I just clicked because the firing pin wasn't engaged. And Zane ran. I gave, boxes of shells to everybody, and they just didn't work.
It made your semi a single shot, which probably great turkey loads. I don't know that we run as turkey loads last year when we were first talking with
We
them?
ran a few of them, and they weren't that way.
And it's, you also aren't reliant on multiple shots with turkey. Usually, it shouldn't be. So they have their place, and when his QC goes up, the actual shot he runs is great, and the powder. I mean, they laid the hammer whenever they ran, but we took a chance. I say Sam took a chance, dove all in, and I think kind of regret it.
I think I killed more pigs with those rounds at like point blank than I did waterfowl. Yeah, because I bought like 7 or 8 cases of 3-inch bismuth from 5-shot, 6-shot, all the way to like double B. I wanted a wide variety of things to try different things, and I didn't like it. I ran what was left of Boss shot shell, what I had from the year before. I like Boss. I think they've got it dialed in.
They had a lot of issues last year. They were having, I think it was primer issues on almost every shell they put out. Everybody almost, which I hate. I love Boss. It handles great. You were a fantastic shot. I hate that their case is 200 shells. It drives me insane.
That's one thing. Like I know dirt pretty well. But that's one thing that it's like a mental aspect. Is like, oh, we're competitively priced. You're competitively priced for having like 50 less shells
on your case. Yeah, but case. Like when you break it down per shell, it's not.
Now the money bag that they give you, the new one, badass, dude. It's dope. Like those wax canvas bags, it's the way of the future. Everybody started kind of knocking them off. Like, we love Rogers. Rogers is who they are. I'm not knocking Rogers at all. They went and made their own sort of money bag. Zane got them, ran them this year.
Got like 10 of them
for like $6. Great things.
If that, yeah.
Yeah, Boss innovated. I will say they're coming out with their new War Chief wads. And I'm going to give them some slack last year because of COVID. So it was kind of the tail end of that. And they were still dealing with catching up and being able to get their primers and wads and everything. So it was a little rough. And the Venari guy, nothing against him personally. I told him, I was like, hey, dude, like these aren't working, blah, blah, blah. He sent me a couple extra cases and we just like, I don't know. They just didn't work. And like I said, it wasn't like we tried them on one gun. We tried them on like 7 different guns. They didn't work.
Well, I mean, I tried them on every gun I had. You tried them on every Benelli you had, which is going to be the same almost across the board because they're all inertia. But yeah, like it didn't work on a gas gun where the gas is actually kicking out. It wasn't working on inertia. It was like when you could get it to shoot, it would shoot, and the shell would expand so much it would just lock in the chamber. You'd have to manually yank it out, and then it wouldn't, unless you could let it slam all the way closed, it wouldn't seat all the way like you said. So you'd either have to jam it closed again or kind of cycle it. It was annoying. But I'm not a bougie ammo guy. I like I think that's where you're about to go with this. Yeah. I'm a Federal blue box guy at heart. Like I've never had an issue with it. You can buy it for cheapish. It lays the hammer. I shoot crane with 2 steel and triple Bs, double Bs, whatever. It kills them great. On ducks, I'll run 3s and 2s and 4s. Kills them great. Shoots great out of every gun I've ever had. Whether it's a 2012 gas, inertia, doesn't matter. Same with Rio, in my opinion. Rios are really good, affordable round, and with how much we hunt, it doesn't like. I think if I hunted for fun instead of professionally, I would be more inclined to spend more money on shells, or maybe buy some Apex, or actually spend the money on a case of Boss because I wouldn't go through them as much. But the amount of times we're just laying BS shots to try to finish cripples at 100 yards for people and stuff like that, it's like, I don't know. But I'm a Federal guy, and then if we're running lead, Remington XLR's never done me dirty, but I'm not a big fan of their hyper, whatever, the actual steel loads. Yeah.
Well, they've got.
I do like Kent a lot too. Kent's pretty solid, but they're a little bit pricier.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. For me, for Dove, I'm a big Winchester AA guy. That's what I shot competitively. I grew up shooting that. That's what my dad shot. And being a Benelli guy, if you know, Benelli's inertia guns don't like those lighter loads. So those 1.8 ounce double A's always cycled for us. So that's what I'm running for that. And like Zane said, that's what I'm running. I got like 7-8 cases of Federal Blue Box in the trailer right now. Like we're ready to go. That's what I'm running for waterfowl, from ducks, geese, cranes. That's what I'm running. I will say I did buy a couple cases of it's the heavy dove, which before you're like, heavy dove, that's stupid. It was like $150 for 3-inch 7-shot, and it's like a 25%
tungsten mixed in.
Tungsten to steel, like 75% steel to 25% tungsten blend. And we're going to Canada, dude. And I'm shooting ducks in the face with a modified choke at like 10 yards with 7-shot. Now we're gonna see how it does. I'll let you know once we get back from Canada.
Yeah, I think we're gonna play around with it for teal season 2 and see how it handles on teal. But $15 a box, like the steel. I wonder how much. Like 7-shot steel will kill a teal, but it's like how well. But I think that added tungsten. Is it tungsten or bismuth mixed in? I think it's tungsten.
It's one of the two. It's tungsten or bismuth.
I think it has to be. It has to be, or it's their proprietary heavy metal, whatever blended it. I don't know, whatever it is. But yeah, that's kind of we do mix it up. Just that's the one thing I think we do kind of, or at least Sam plays around on, is different ammo. And I'm sure everybody has a brand that they really like, that they know and love, but it's like, can't always find it. Like I go to Shields. I have a massive Shields right down the street from me, and go in there and I want Federal Blue Box, and you walk in and there's nothing, and then all you have is like Kent Steel, solid choice, or like I'll never shoot Super X. It does not cycle well out of any gun I have, even my Winchester doesn't make any sense to me. And you see that a lot. You can buy that at Walmart, but it's like, and Federal Blue Box, you can get the 100-round case. It used to be, back when I really started hunting a lot with you, you could get the 100-round case of Federal Blue Box for like $31, and you go to Walmart and get like 8 of them off the shelf. Now it's like 75. Oh my God.
Yeah, they matched it like just right per box of what just one box would be, and times that by 4. But I will say that I read a statistic the other day. I don't know where I exactly saw it, but I did see it. I think it was on a Boss Forum page, but like statistically, one of the most accurate and consistent shells on the market is the Federal Blue Box. It's been around like the longest. It's just it's the testing and the amount of money they spent to like making that shell perfected is enormous. Like they really have put their time and effort into making that one great. And now I'm gonna leave the kind of the ammo conversation with this is find the ammo that fits your gun the best. Not all
your gun and your
pattern
and your choke.
Yeah.
If you have a preferred choke you like, everybody likes to buy a choke to the ammo. I love Carlson chokes. Sam's a big kicks guy. I don't remember his name. He just passed away. So
Chuck, yeah, R.I.P. Chuck.
Yeah, but they're like, I'm a big Carlson fan. And what shoots good, like if I put a Carlson choke in my Super Black Eagle and he puts a kicks in his, they may shoot Federal Blue Box different. So your choke tube is the thing that is going to last the longest out of all of it. So like maybe find the ammo that, I guess that's my kind of personal preference, and kind of experiment with it. But
yeah, that's one thing. But it's, I mean, it's before season, so go out to the range or your family's land, wherever you have access to shoot a firearm legally. Go out there, set up, a 2-foot by 2-foot paper target. We're looking at Zane's balls right now.
So my left AirPod just died. I'm trying to find my case to give it some juice for a second.
No, you're good. So yeah, like go put it on paper. Draw, a circle. There's, I don't know what you exactly should. There's many forums and pages on Facebook you can go put it on. Go put it on those the paper, shoot it, count your pellet counts, and then get a box of Kents, get a box of Federals, go buy a box of Boss or Migra or Apex, all these specialty ammos. There's a million of them. Go try them out. Doesn't hurt to try them. I mean, it's better to spend, $25-30 a box, for 5 or 6 boxes than to buy, 5 cases of shells or so, and them realistically not, have giant gaps in your patterns. So that's what I recommend. Kind of while Zane's jumping on that. I run a dog. Zane's got a dog that's about to go to training. So like, what I have is as far as what I use, I run the Sitka full choke pack. that fits everything I need it and a little bit of more. From or not e-collar, but like, my dog remote, my dog collars, my calls that I don't really use for cranes because I don't call cranes, but it's got my dog whistle on it, duck calls, goose calls, things like that. It's got like my gloves all the way from my decoy gloves that go up to like my elbow. It's got my work gloves, my leather gloves, and then just like I'm really big on the Gore-Tex, the Sitka Gore-Tex Pantanol gloves. Those are warm, they're dry, they're waterproof. And then a beanie or two, and then all my ammo and like 3 or 4 bottles of water. So that's what I use. I highly recommend that. I mean, I put that thing through the ringer. Half the time it's stepped on. It's just in the bed of my truck, getting rolled around on by clients, dogs. Zippers haven't worn out, which I know is a pretty big issue with like some Sitka's clothing. I can't tell you how many pieces of gear I bought where the fucking zippers have just shit out on me like day one. Like, I'm like, okay, that's stupid. But I will highly recommend the Sitka full choke pack. That's kind of my go-to. We're big Pacific call guys for most of our calls. But I will say I am a DRC call guy as well.
You like DRC a lot.
Yeah, Corey, he makes he is a goose, he's a goose wizard. He does a really good job. We have little geese. Where we have geese, we don't have a whole lot of them, but I'm a big DRC short drop guy. They have the short drop XL, which sounds great now. And then Pacific Calls has the new BA lesser. So like there you have multiple different options, but you'll see me with the either the BA or the short drop on my call lanyard. And what are you running, Zane? I know you run Rig'em, right?
Bag wise, I have the Rig'em right. I run a bunch of different bags for different stuff, but for the field last year, I was running the Rig'em right something XL. It's like their normal, just like carrying blind bag, but it's a big one, and I don't remember what the name of it is. It was solid. It's way bigger than you'd think it'd be. I am going to order the Lowdown Drifter floating backpack they have. I like their bags. Sam likes the Sitka bags. I think that's the one thing Sitka kind of lacks in is their bags. Not that they're bad. I just feel like other companies maybe make stuff better that kind of focus more on that instead of on clothing. The Rig'em Right Drifter is a big backpack, and that's solely just because I have a dog now, so I have to keep e-collar and a dog first aid kit on top of the human first aid kit and stuff like that with me. I haven't run it yet. I have for whitetail hunting, for like archery, if I ever get to archery hunt again, and just for running the stand. I kind of keep like all my stuff in all my bags at all times, so I don't ever have to go pull stuff out. I'm the opposite of Steven Ranella, who keeps it in totes. Mine's just in my bags. So I have like the whitetail tool bucket, whatever the mid-size backpack is. That one's, I like it a lot. It's got a lot of features. It's cool. I do have a Sitka timber pack, the waterproof one that's in the timber color. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Heidi's over here licking her leg, and I'm like, I really hope that's not picking up on the audio.
I can't hear it. I run the Sitka timber pack for like if I'm actually water hunting or if I jump in a boat with a buddy and stuff like that. And I love duck calls. Like I will buy new duck calls every year, no matter how much I love other ones. So I love JT calls. I love some Haydel plastic calls. The Carbon Quacker is one of my favorite calls of all time. It's loud, it's raspy. I run a lot of Pacific stuff. Trevor and Alex, and I'm going to throw Zach in there now too, because he's kind of become a face of that company, are great people. They hook us up quite a bit, and I do love a lot of their calls. Their 2 lesser calls are definitely lesser calls. Sam likes more of the cackler sound, which is a little bit squeakier and higher pitched, which is why he likes the short drop. Their 206 and their BA are definitely kind of on the honkier side of small geese, which gives you a little bit more ease. It's a little bit easier to blow the longer the goose call is. I'm not a very good goose caller, but I can tell you that just from blowing on them. And then I love acrylic calls because they're pretty, and I will always buy new ones. Like I'm about to order just the rest of the JT calls lineup just because I love his stuff. And I will always sit in here and play around. Like I'm looking at them on my shelf right now. I have like a plastic power hin from Zinc sitting up there. And every time I pick that one up and blow it, I'm like, I should throw this on the lanyard. It sounds so good. So I don't know. I keep a separate lanyard in my duck backpack than I do in my field bag. Like I'll run a JT out of one and maybe a Pacific out of the other. And I don't know. I keep buying calls. If I find one I don't like, it goes on a shelf. As long as I like the way it sounds, I'm a big single reed guy. It'll go on a lanyard in one bag, one way or another, and I'll play around with it.
Yeah, that's something we both do similar. Is like we have a bag for each occasion because I hate having to switch shit out like that. And commercially running, that's just, dude, I've got bigger fish to fry than what bag, like having stuff out of the bag. So yeah, one dog collar and transmitter for each bag, and then my duck stuff is for, my duck lanyard's got duck stuff on it, and then my crane lanyard has everything on it. But I will say,
when you like, my duck bag's got considerably more duck hunting stuff, but then I have like a lesser call thrown on it, and or actually I keep a honker call on it because usually if I'm duck hunting out of that bag specifically, I'm hunting like Oklahoma or like my part of Texas with buddies, and we have honkers here. Then West Texas, it's like my dry field bag has duck calls and then a lesser call on it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. I'm a big fan of the 737 calls as well. I will say that is one of the calls on my duck lanyard. That's one of my go-tos. It's a Sitka call. Hate on me if you want. It's got the Sitka. It was one of their releases a couple years back, but I like it a lot. This is kind of off topic, but I remember I think it was R&T. They released that solid aluminum call. It's been like 4 or 5 years probably.
They do some crazy stuff.
Harry had like 3 of them. My buddy Harry, ho, shout out to him. He's a G. But yeah, he was, dude, when he was with his old girlfriend, that motherfucker had a collection of duck calls that was worth like more than my gun collection. I feel like I was like, golly. But yeah.
Well, the all aluminum one was a cut down, wasn't it? It was one of their Mondos.
Dude, I have no idea. I remember seeing it. Thing weighed like 5 pounds because it was billet aluminum, basically 2 pieces.
I do want to get some cut downs. I think I'm gonna go R&T just because they're the OG, but also I don't know. I want to play around. I know 737 has a cut down. It's the Tomahawk. I'm curious. I need to reach out to Trevor. I wonder if Pacific's gonna mess with it. Although cut down's more of that cut down call style is more Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, kind of the timber stuff over it is what they hunt. So they may not.
Yeah. No.
Who's Makers? Makers make some good cut downs. Makers Call Company.
Yeah.
But,
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, there's just a whole lot of different variety of stuff that we use. And like gun wise, I'm brand loyal to one gun company. I think this one's going a little longer than I thought it was going to go to. So we're going to cut it into 2 parts, probably for kind of our like gear for the company, just because I don't want to like bore y'all out or anything. But yeah, I'm a Benelli guy. Zane uses a little different stuff than I do as far as what's in his bag. I use different stuff than him, but it all works out. Find what works for you. This is the hunting outdoor industry is a really small industry. Don't be afraid to like shoot an email and like just ask. Like, and if we can help y'all out, reach out to us, our personal, reach out to Dirty Texas Outfitters, the Fowl Talk Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, YouTube. Like just reach out to us. We'd love to help you in any choice, give you our honest opinion. Because odds are if we haven't run it, we know somebody that has. And we're all ears. Something that I'm interested in running that, we'll kind of talk more about on this next episode is I'm running the new Dakota blind, the dog break blind. My dog has a problem with breaking. And when you're in the heat of things and you're running clients, it's kind of hard to make sure your dog's not breaking, but the last thing you need is a dog getting shot or a client, just being unsafe with your dog and basically in the hands of other people. So that blind actually has it's a spring-loaded door, and it kind of has like a little lock, and it's got a pull string on it. So you lock your dog in there, and he can see out, but he can't get out. And then you pull the string, and he's able to go. So kind of leave y'all on that.
Let's do. There's 2 more things on personal. We can make it snappy because I know you are What do you wear boots and shoes wise in the field?
Yes, I forgot about those boots. Almost every day of the year, if I am waterfowl hunting, and it's not like if it's a dry field or a semi-dry field, I'm wearing extra toughs or the Sims boots. I say that I've only worn extra toughs, but I just ordered the Sim boots. Got them sitting right here next to me, so I wear those. If I'm upland hunting, I'm running the Danner pronghorn series. Those have done me no wrong. They look like clown shoes. I will say that they're fucking weird looking.
Especially with how tight you lace them up.
Yeah, dude. But I've got cankles, bro, and these bad boys, there's no way I can lift my fucking leg up like that. But like these cankles have like rubber bands on them, and I need stability. And so yeah, I lace those bad boys up, and they do me really good. That's my go-to. And then obviously you ain't rocking, you ain't rocking. What?
What do you wear waders wise when you have to wear waders, which is so far and few between? Like we don't spend a lot of money on waders because we are in maybe one day a year.
I'm gonna start off by saying this. I hire guys to wear waders, so I don't have to. Now that being said, if I could fit into Sitka waders, I would 100% get them. Everybody's hopping on the shin gear, whatever you want to call it, the bandwagon. They make a good product from what I've seen. Haven't tried it, don't know. I'm not going to knock them. I'm all about their platform, but I'm a Sitka guy. So if I could, I'd wear those, but I can't because I don't fit in them. I wear the Rogers waders. I don't even know what they are. You and I bought them when we were up
uninsulated. I have two pairs of Rogers. I have like an uninsulated pair, and then I have a pair that has like removable insulation. And I do that on purpose so I can leave one pair out west and one pair here. That way I don't have to transport stuff back and forth. But yeah, we don't ever wear waders.
Like if I'm not that cold, you know.
And back when before we started where I started helping you out with stuff, I would wear waders. Every time I duck hunted, I was in waders because I hunted water. But now we hunt. It's almost like the point where we hunt so little actual water for stuff that when we do, it's like I'd rather just wait out in knee boots and get wet and grab, like if it goes over and grab, because we're usually hunting cattle ponds and stuff like that. We're never hunting big water. So it's very rare. Sam's also not a big wader fan in general. He despises. He used to wait out in Hudson bibs and boots.
Yeah, I would. That's a fact. I would rather get wet than wear waders. When my wife and I, when we used to go hunt like our family land in Paducah, I'd throw the decoys out from the bank. I'd set a spinner like as far as I could reach it out and just like stab it, and like 2 or 3 foot off the water. I'd be in mud boots, and then at the end of it, I'd have my Hudsons there, and I have calves that are like that wide a piece. So it would just like the water would try to go in. It was so tight between my mud boots and that it just like suction form. So I really wouldn't get that wet because I despise waders. And I apologize if you can hear that. My wife is feeding my dog Rip, and he is insane when he gets fed.
I can't hear it, so I bet they can't hear it. My puppy's outside. I can hear him barking, but I'm assuming you can't hear that.
No, I cannot. But yeah, guys. You got anything else, Zane, on that aspect?
You wear extra toughs. He's gonna try out the Sims this year. I might order a pair of Gator waders, deck boots. Deck boots, the new move for waterfowl. They're super comfortable. They're just, especially for field stuff, like you're not really gonna get muddy. If it's cold out and I want to wear some insulation, I'm a big lacrosse knee boot guy. I have 6 different pairs of all different kinds, from uninsulated to insulated to camo to brown. Love them all. They have their issues. I think they have an issue with the soles on some of their models, but I've never had an issue. I wear a lot of Hey Dudes in the field, especially the leather ones. Beat the crap out of those. But other than that, I ain't got nothing.
Yep. I will say that using the the extra toughs. If you wear them a lot and you hunt like we do, we're not in your most traditional waterfowl hunting area. A mesquite thorn has no problem going straight through that sucker.
And Hey Dudes are even worse.
Especially for stickers. Like just regular grass burrs. Zane went through that. RIP to his feet.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But guys, thank y'all for listening to this episode. As we're talking, we just recorded it before this. But as we're talking, the episode, our first YouTube video, just uploaded, so that is going to go live. I don't know what the dates are going to go on this, but about a week before you listen to this one, it's gone live. So check out our YouTube channel. This one's going to go on YouTube as well. Let us know what y'all think. Leave a comment down below what you want to hear. If you think I'm a dickhead, think Zane's an asshole, let us know. Hey, we're all about it. We just want feedback because we don't know. We might be douchebags for wearing Sitka. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your feedback. If you haven't, we have a couple dates available. Dirty Text Outfitters. Check us out. Facebook, Instagram, and our website. We're fully licensed, the whole shittery. So y'all need anything, reach out to us. And thank y'all for tuning into this episode of the Fowl Talk Podcast. Peace.